Hello and welcome to the Sports Center YouTube channel. Big weekend in the Premier League this weekend, and without further ado, we're going to get straight into it. We're going to start at the top of the table. The mighty Reds, Liverpool, won it right at the death. Big Darwin Núñez came up with a couple of absolutely massive goals for the Red Men. 3 points at Brentford, and listen, got to give credit to Brentford. They're a bit of a mixed bag team, but I think their home record is one of the best records in the Premier League at the moment, if my memory serves me rightly. So not an easy place to go to, the G-Tech, and Liverpool ground it out, got the win there. I think it was like 91st minute and 94th minute from Núñez. Look, for all that you talk about in terms of squad depth with City and Arsenal and whatever else, and you do the comparisons with Liverpool and basically any team who we thought might be chasing the title at the beginning of the season, I think I can confidently say that Liverpool have the best when it comes to firepower, when it comes to attacking flair, when it comes to having those options on the field and on the bench to be able to change games. Now, a lot's been made of like Federico Chiesa, like why is he not playing? And I do believe that Slot knows his injury problems. You know, Liverpool kind of a bit of a panic buy in the summer. They got him in to basically help on that right hand side with Mohamed Salah, because Harvey Elliott has been doing it for the last couple of years, and he's a midfielder. And I think Slot's basically taken his time. He knows that the likes of Jota, class striker, quality finisher, Jota the Slotters, we like to call him, but he's made of glass. Like I believe he's not trained today. He's a doubt for the Champions League game now as well. He missed the weekend. You can't hang your hats on him, so keeping Chiesa fit is going to be a big advantage to Liverpool, and especially if they can keep the rest of the guys fit, because that front line that we've got, that top six, I don't think there's the squad depth in world football to compete with that. And ultimately, I think that potentially could be the difference if Liverpool go on to win this title. And look, I'll probably go out and say it now, we should win this title. We're 6 points clear. We've got a game in hand, although the game in hand is Everton. I hate that game. I hate Everton away. Everton will hang their season on trying to derail Liverpool's season. But listen, 6 points with a game in hand coming into February, would I take that at the beginning of the season? Damn fucking right I would. So listen, you can't deny Liverpool are top of the table on merit at the moment. And look, Arsenal fans, well, Arsenal in general, Arsenal would have been going into their game against Villa on Saturday, seeing that Liverpool are drawing right up to the 90th minute, coming up to 5 o'clock, their game's about to kick off in half an hour. They're thinking, right, buzzing, we can make some more ground on these. The Arsenal players have coming off their warm-up. They've probably got Sky Sports News on. They've just seen that Darwin Núñez has bagged 2 late goals. That's going to be demoralising for Arsenal, demoralising for their fans that were going into that stadium thinking, we can make ground here. And to add insult to injury, they couldn't even get the job done against Villa. They were 2 goals up as well, and they chucked it away. And I've seen some Arsenal fans today commenting on some social media platforms saying that Brentford wasted chances, that Brentford should have got some out of that game. Liverpool had, I think, 37 shots, was it? Obviously not all on time. We had 37 shots. So someone please tell me how you can see that Brentford should have got some out of that game. Liverpool pretty much battered Brentford from starting. All right, yeah, they had a couple of chances which they potentially on another day might have scored, but you can't tell me that you're going into a game with 90 minutes and you're not going to give away 1 or 2 chances. Look, Liverpool dominated that game. Liverpool deserved to win that game, and top and bottom, Liverpool did win that game. So any Arsenal fans that are fucking crying about their injuries, crying about this, crying about that, getting the Gabriel Jesus shirts on and fucking because he's got an injury, listen, you'll be crying into your cereal today and for the rest of the week, because end of the day, Liverpool are top on merit, and you're jealous really of the fact that ultimately you've been dying for a season for City to not be as good, not be as strong, not be as dominant, so you could be there to pounce And on the season that you should have been there, where are you? So Arsenal fans, let me know in the comments, where are you? Because Liverpool are top of the league at the moment, and listen, there's still a long way to go. They're not out of it, but ultimately I'm just sick of hearing all these excuses now. You are where you are on merit, and ultimately Liverpool are top of the table on merit and Arsenal aren't, so it is what it is. Right, moving on again, we're going to stay within the Northwest region. We're going to talk about Man United. Just the gift that keeps on giving is this team. And look, from a Liverpool fan's perspective, it's great to see, but from a football fan, it's sad, really. In fact, is it sad? No, scratch that. It's not sad, it's brilliant. I love the fact that for years on years, Man United fans used to give it to Liverpool, basically saying, fuck your history, fuck your 18 titles. You know, that were 20 years ago, 25 years ago, 30 years ago. And now fast forward and look who it's happening to. It's happening to you guys, exactly the same. And all I ever hear about is a club the stature of Man United shouldn't be in 13th, 14th in the league. Well, you're not that stature no more. I'm sorry to say, but you need to stop living in the past, in the fucking Fergie years where you had Beckham, Scholes, Giggs, Keane. Those players are gone. They're gone. They was gone a long time ago. And every single United fan that I hear, either face to face or even on the radio or on social media, like, oh, we're Man United, we're this big historical... Yeah, you are a big historical club. Liverpool were a big historical club, but ultimately, we turned into a cup team that every now and again used to challenge for a title maybe once in 6-7 seasons. And, sorry to say, Man United fans, but you need to wake up. You're not in the 90s, you're not in the early 2000s no more, or even like towards the 2010 era where you were still kind of like had a presence. You're nowhere near that team. Nowhere near it at best. You're going to pick up a couple of cups, you know, domestic cups, maybe even a European cup, even if you can even get into those European spots. And do I think you've got a good manager in charge? Yeah, I do. I think Ruben Amorim, he's ruthless. And one of the first things he did, which I completely agree with, is he got Marcus Rashford out of that squad. I've been saying to my dad, we go to games all the time, and I'm saying, I think Rashford's a bad egg. When all this stuff, excuse me, with Jadon Sancho were going on, he should have just been keeping quiet. Yeah, he's Jadon Sancho's mate, and I get that football players are human beings, and they're allowed to have friends, and they're allowed to put stuff on social media, yada, yada, yada. But Man United paying 350 fucking grand a week, just keep your mouth shut. But when Sancho was saying stuff, he's liking his posts, he's putting little cryptic comments and emojis and stuff like that. The guy, I don't know the guy, and he's, you know, we all know all the good stuff he's done away from football. But at this moment in time, he's not acting like a professional in his field. He's acting like a bit of a fucking baby, you know. I see him out all the time with like rappers like Meeks and stuff like that, and I'm just like, mate, at this moment in time, you should just be keeping your head down. If you want to get a move out of United, just keep your head down and get your move out of United. But at the moment, you're just making a load of noise around you. And again, I know you're a human being. You can do what you want, wear whatever fucking clothes you want. I know I've heard all these pundits saying about that, the clothes he wears, the cars he drives. Mate, if I earned what you earned, I'd probably be doing the exact same thing. But you're a bit loud about it at the moment. Just keep your head down and get on with it. But I think that's the state of play at United, you know. The players have kind of been able to rule the roost. Like Ronaldo came in and he soon got the fuck out of there because he said that stuff's changing there from when it were his day, when he were in his prime at United. He says everything's completely different, and it is. And I think Marcus Rashford is a critical part. You know, players should be looking up to that guy as a leader in that dressing room. That guy's been through the ranks at United, but instead he's a bit of a poison in the dressing room, and Amorim's seen it, and he's thought, do you know what? I'll give you a chance. He's had a chance. He's like, nah, see you later, done. You're not in my match day squad. You're probably never going to be in my match day squads ever again. So let's quicker we can get this guy out the door. And I think Amorim knows as well. I reckon any half decent educated Man United fan will know that there's probably more pain going to come before it starts to get better. And I think what Amorim needs to do, he needs to get the fans on board. Well, the fans need to get on board with him really, because you can quite clearly see the guy knows his stuff. Like, he's grinding out some half decent performance, like the Liverpool game. Decent performance. I was there. If anything, really, United probably should have won that game against us. But the consistency levels at United are just not there. You've got a lot of dead wood in there. You've got Eriksen, Casemiro that should be nowhere near that squad. And I think, bringing the youth through like Ahmed, that kid's showing fucking captain material at the moment. He's showing like he's a leader. He's a leader. He gets on that pitch and he's setting by example. And I think Man United they need to get to the summer. They need to take stock. I don't believe that any major surgery can get done and will get done in January. I think January is always a tricky window for doing stuff like that. But I'm sorry to say, United fans, that you're not this stature that you once were. And I'm not saying that you'll never get back there, but for now, you need to stop it with all this, the Fergie times, the class of 92 and all this, the might of Old Trafford. It's all gone. It's long gone. Moving on to another club that is in struggle, that's in disarray, is Tottenham Hotspur. Now, it's a funny club really, is Tottenham, because I'm not really pro against them or for them. I'm very impartial when it comes to Spurs. But again, a team that the fan base demand things from, but from my experience as Tottenham, you've never done anything. You've won a Carabao Cup, I think, in my lifetime. Maybe an FA Cup, I can't remember when you won the FA Cup. Someone can let me know in the comments when Spurs last won the FA Cup. But anyway, my point being that Tottenham fans seem to have this expectation of like where they should be in the league. They should be challenging for top 4, top 5 every season. And to me, Tottenham are a bit of a wasteful club. And what I mean by that is some of the signings are wasteful. Like Richarlison, I think it was 60 million quid at the time. It's not fuck all really. He played for Everton. Like Everton are a relegation team, and you've taken their best striker for 60 million quid. Similar with Bournemouth, like Bournemouth. Well, if we look at the table, if we look at the dynamic of football at the moment, Bournemouth are actually a better team than Tottenham. Now, Bournemouth obviously knew their objectives for the following season. If they thought that Dominic Solanke was a critical part, they wouldn't have let him go. But the fact that they was willing to let him go tells you something that, yeah, he had a good season last season, but that's one in how many? And Spurs just went, oh yeah, we'll buy him, we'll have him, 60 million quid, yeah, no worries. And they seem to make some mad decisions. To say Daniel Levy is this shrewd businessman, and we've all seen it before with some of the sales of players that he'll hold on to them until he gets every single penny out of that sale. And they've made some mad signings quite recently. But yeah, Spurs fans, let me know what you think. But I think the big question for Spurs fans is the manager, Ange Postecoglou. Now, I think I did a podcast, me and Carl did a podcast probably a few weeks ago actually, just saying, is he a fraud? And I've got to say, is he a fraud? Got to ask that question again, is he? Because he gave it the big bollocks, didn't he, at the beginning of this season, talking about his second season thing. I always win a trophy. And look, don't get me wrong, Spurs are still on course to win a domestic trophy. I get that. However, I would be very shocked, and I'm going to go out and say this now, and I could get pellets for this in a couple of weeks, but I'll be shocked if Liverpool don't beat them back at Anfield in the second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final. I'll be shocked, because with the Spurs playing at the moment, you're conceding 3 against Everton, and Everton are a team that can't score goals, and you've let them score 3 against you in the first half. And I've heard all this stuff about injuries and how Spurs are threadbare. Totally get that. But then I'm coming back to Postecoglou now. If you know that you're threadbare as a manager, if you know that you don't have the squad to be able to keep up to the demands of what you want from them, then surely you need to adapt your playing style in order to help your players and help your squad maintain a certain standard until you get such players back, to which then you can then go back and say, right, boy, we go back to plan A. But for now, we're going to go plan B or plan C, and we're just going to maybe, rather than absolutely go 100% gung-ho, high press, 90 minutes, and fuck you all up. And I've seen my team do high press for a full season, and you can probably maintain that for 2 or 3 seasons. And then if you don't refresh that squad, you soon see those legs start to deteriorate. And the best example I can give of that is Fabinho under Jurgen Klopp. Now, he was one of the best sixers, probably in world football, especially definitely in the Premier League, for a couple of seasons maybe. He then came back, I want to say maybe after the title winning season, something like 2021 or 2022. He was shite. The guy fell off a cliff. It's like his legs just worked independently from his brain. It's like he couldn't run. And I love Jurgen Klopp, but I believe that Klopp basically run that guy into the ground. And then he pissed off to Saudi. And I've seen some clips from him at Saudi. I don't know, it's only YouTube clips, but he was terrible. And I honestly feel that that's what Postecoglou's doing with his team. You're demanding so much from them. Look at Son at the moment. I'd probably go... Is at that level where he's better than a good player? Is he world class? It's up for debate. I would say no, but my point being is the guy looks like a different player. The guy looks like he's hardly ever played football this season. He's spent. He's run. He's fucked. Like, he's absolutely shot. You can see him after 60, 70 minutes. He's blowing out of his ass because the demand that Postecoglou's putting on those players is to go bam, 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 press. And I'm sorry, you can't. You've got to pick and choose your moments, I think. And I'm not a football manager by any stretch of the imagination, but I'd like to think I'm quite well educated to know how different systems work. And to high press non-stop for 90 minutes is difficult. And especially when you're playing midfielders at centre-halves at right back, midfielders at left back. I totally get it. But adapt. Don't be so stubborn to keep coming back after every interview. He's got his head down and he's salty and he's like, oh yeah, great way to start an interview. Well, I'm sorry, mate. What do you expect? You're literally giving the press ammunition week in, week out to just get at you, just to keep poking you. You're the guy that's taking Tottenham down the leagues, mate. And ultimately, I'm sure if we hop back to records gone by, Daniel Levy has chopped managers quicker, a lot quicker. So you're on thin ice, bro, thin ice, and you're still adopting this playing style where you think it's and it's obviously not working. The proof is in the pudding that these players that you have got on the pitch at the moment, it ain't working. So change your style a little bit. There's nothing wrong with just saying we're going to go to a mid-block or a low block until we get some bodies back. And then once you get your goalkeeper back, once you get Van der Ven back, once you get Romero back, you can start then implementing a bit of a higher press. You can go again. But fuck me, football is a results-driven business. And right now, your results are shocking. You're slipping down the league. And if you keep on slipping, I'm sorry to say, you're going to be in a relegation fight and probably you're going to be out of a job. I would be surprised if Ange Postecoglou is the manager come the second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final at Anfield. I think that's on the 6th or 7th of Feb. And I'll go out here now and I'll say I will be surprised if he is the manager come that fixture. But Spurs fans, let me know in the comments below what you think. And as always, give us a thumbs up if you like the video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you in a bit.